Hey guys, it's time to talk about it. I'm talking about pumpkin beer. And on today's show, I'll be reviewing Pumpkin Ale by Great Divide. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Southern Brews and Booze. And on today's show, we'll be covering Great Divide's Pumpkin Ale. Get a shot of that right there. And if you listen to my podcast, the Southern Spectre podcast, available on Spotify, also on Anchor.fm, you will know that just the other week I actually reviewed two pumpkin ales from Southern Tier Brewing. So this will be my technically third pumpkin beer of the year so far. So what it says here on their website, Great Divide Brewing Company, it says Pumpkin Ale, a toasty brown ale with notes of pumpkin, brown sugar, and spices. That sounds good to me. Pumpkin Ale is sure to be your new favorite seasonal treat. The rich malty backbone enhances the autumnal flavors, creating a delicious sensory experience without being overly sweet. Oh, thank heaven. It has an ABV of 6.5%. It is available September through October, so got mine just in time. Wow, you can actually get it in 6-pack cans, 5 gallons, and 15.5-gallon kegs. So it must be pretty popular. So, let's see here. So that's what we have here. And we're going to go ahead and pop this bad boy open. I do taste some pumpkin. I'm sorry, smell. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I smell some pumpkin in there, and we're just going to go ahead and pour it into our glass. Wow. That's pretty. That is pretty. So, we have our pumpkin ale there. And this is what she looks like. Forgive the writing on the glass. I'm working with what glasses I have, okay? So, and she's might have been the way I poured it, but it does have a very thick head on it, which I don't mind. I think that gives it more body, more taste, more experience. So while I'm letting the head die down, this reminds me of stories straight out of Charleston, South Carolina. Here's your paranormal portion of the show. So it being fall season, this is one of the tales that have been told time and time again. So down in Charleston, years and years ago, you had a lady by the name of Lavinia Fisher. Now, maybe you've all already heard this story, and if you have, maybe the version you heard was a little bit different from the one I'm about to tell, and that's perfectly fine because there are different variations of this story. So, her and her husband actually ran a inn right outside of Charleston, known as the 6 Mile Inn. It might have been 5 Mile. 5 Mile Inn? 6 Mile Inn? I don't know. Can't remember. But anyhow, they ran an inn, and supposedly the tale was that when they had travelers coming through, they would get to talking with the travelers, and they would actually, one version is that they would drug them with something put in their tea or coffee, and that when that visitor fell asleep, either Lavinia or her husband would creep upstairs and stab them in the chest while they slept. Second version of that story is that they did drug them, and that they would actually, the bed that the guest would be asleep on would actually fall through the floor into a deep pit where spikes would impale them from underneath. And of course, this is how they made their money, that they would rob these people pretty much blind, and that's the story. Okay, so away from that, they story goes that they arrested Lavinia and her husband, and that they pleaded not guilty, of course, and they actually filed an appeal. Well, during the filing of the appeal, this took a while back then, and they had to wait like maybe a month in the old Charleston city jail. And so while they were there, they actually tried to escape, and of course her husband had made his way down, because they shared a cell back then. I don't know why. I guess them being husband and wife, that they would share a cell. So during that time, while they were sharing the cell, like I said, they tried to escape, and her husband actually made it down to the ground floor, but apparently their makeshift rope had broke, leaving poor Lavinia behind. And her husband was wise enough to know better not to leave his wife behind, and so he actually crawled back into the jail cell to be with Lavinia. Upon the filing of the appeal fell through. They were still found guilty, and from what I've heard, that there was actually, back in those days, that there was a ruling that a married woman could not hang. Okay, so they were sentenced to the gallows, and according to legend, the judge told, her day in court. Lavinia had her day in court, and Lavinia stood up and told the judge, "Judge, I'm a married woman. You can't hang me because, the law states that you can't, because I am a married woman." And the judge said, "Yes, I've thought about this, and so I can hang you, according to law, I will hang your husband first. At that point, they will no longer be married, and Lavinia would be free to hang." So legend goes that on the day of their execution, her husband went first, and he had made his peace with God, and he was reborn again. And as he made his way up to the gallows, he pleaded and bargained with everybody around him, all the people watching and the crowd and everything else. And then he just begged and pleaded, "Please, I beg you for your forgiveness." So he said, "Hey, I'm innocent because, I found God." Well, anyway, he hung on the gallows that day. When it was Lavinia's turn, legend says that she actually wore her wedding dress to the gallows. And the reasoning behind it, so legend says, is that she actually was hoping and praying that men in the audience would be so compelled and so captivated by her beauty that one of them would try to rescue her from her death right there on the spot and have a shotgun wedding, and so she would not be able to hang. However, no one came forth. No one saved Lavinia. So on this day, as she was there, she got so upset and full of rage. Legend says that they put the noose around her neck, and before it could be tightened around her neck, she turned around and looked out at the crowd and told the crowd, "If you have a message for the devil, give it to me. I'll see that he gets it." And with those final words, she leapt off the gallows, and she swung to her death. It's also been said that she actually swung for close to an hour before she took her last breath. Reports of Lavinia have been reported at the old city jail and in the nearby cemetery. However, upon my research, they said that she was not buried in that cemetery, and that her and her husband were actually buried in a potter's field nearby, which happens to be now the founding grounds of Medical University of South Carolina. So just some interesting facts. Now, back to the beer. Apologize, phone's going off. Smells like pumpkin. I smell some like allspice. Maybe a little bit of nutmeg in there. It smells good. It smells like pumpkin pie. It smells like a Halloween treat. So let's dive in. Oh wow, that's good. And as you can see, it is awful dark there, and that is good. It does not taste the way it looks. Most darker beers, some of them have like a more bitter taste to them, and this has a slight bite to it, very very mild. But this is good. I mean, It's good. I like this kind of stuff. That's why I started up this channel, and I hope you guys like the channel as well. That is good. I like that. I can still taste the hops in it, but I can also taste those spices and things that are coming through and they're shining through, and I really like that. You know, a lot of people give us people, and by us people, I mean the pumpkin spice lovers and followers and things of that nature, a lot of bad rap because I love this time of year. I'm not out here drinking pumpkin spice or eating pumpkins year round. What, 2 months out of the year, and why not? Why not? Because usually when fall, September, October, on into October, Halloween time, that's when I usually partake in pumpkins and pumpkin beer and stuff of that nature. So that's what I'm out here doing. I mean, I like it and I ain't got no shame in it. Ain't no shame in my game. So guys, if you happen to try, or maybe you want to try something different, or maybe you happen to like pumpkin beers, pumpkin ales, and things of that nature. So, I would highly recommend this beer. So if you're like me and you like this kind of stuff, next time you're out and about, go find you some Great Divide pumpkin ale. And I love the can design, by the way. I don't know if I got a good shot of that or not, but I thought that was pretty cool. You got the headless horseman there, and that is just awesome. That's a great can. That's one good thing I do like about the cans. They do have some original artwork on them, and I find that they take the time to actually design the can like that. So I think that's pretty cool. But anyway, guys, check me out next time. If you like the video, give me a like. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. And also, if you like more paranormal stories from me, go check out the Southern Spectre podcast. Available on Spotify, hopefully soon to be Apple. But you can find all of our links to all of our different platforms at anchor.fm/Southern Spectre. Go check it out. Thanks, guys. Till next time.